Okay, so the work is beginning on Dad's car. I'm going to be sanding this back half of the car, getting it ready for etching primer. We're only going to need etching primer on the bare metal areas of the car. I'm sanding a bit of paint off yet here. There's some more some more paint I gotta take off there. And then I gotta do the top of the roof here. It's all been sanded off, but it's been sitting a long time. It has had that rust inhibitor stuff on there, but there's still a little bit of surface rust, so I'm gonna run over it with the DA and 120 grit. We're gonna get that all sanded down. And like I said, we're gonna get etching primer on this thing where all the bare metal is. Dad has got to finish up this quarter here. You just got to find all the pinholes and weld them up, and then do a little bit more grinding down. So really all the rust repair is done on this thing. It's just finishing up. It had a rear quarter here, and I think it's got a new inner one on this side. This side did not need a rear quarter. All it needed was a little bit there, a little piece there. I can't get back any further because it's between the hoist here, but all it needed was a little spot right there. And the floor had some rust, a little bit of rust, and that's been repaired. So that's been repaired. The underside has been undercoated, so the underside is done. We got this fender here. I may run over that and then prime that while I'm doing the rest of that, and maybe this piece too, just to get the bare metal covered with some etching primer. Okay, so I told you Dad's got to run around and fill the pinholes on this rust repair patch he's got. And I'm not talking about pinholes from rust. I'm talking about when you run around and you do a patch, you're doing little spot weld, spot weld, spot weld, spot weld, spot weld, and the whole thing is kind of spot welded on. Well, when you do that, you miss spots. You're gonna miss a spot. I don't care how good you are, you're gonna miss a spot. So you got to find all those little pinholes and weld them up. A little trick to help you find those pinholes: if you can get a light behind where you welded, put the light behind where you welded, and you should be able to see if you have any pinholes. Now you can see right there, there's a pinhole there. When I take the light away, you really can't see it. I bring the light in, and there's that pinhole. So I kind of looked at this, and there's only a few. He's only got a few pinholes here, so this is going to be very quick to get this all ready for primer. So that's just a quick tip on how to find all your pinholes after you get done welding a patch. So that's going to do it for this side. I did this side. Dad's going to have to do the other side. But this side is actually ready for... I'm going to sand this out with 120 so I can get it primed. And I know I said I was going to prime this with etching primer, but actually I'm going to go with epoxy instead of etching primer, because you can do body work over epoxy. You can't do body work over etching primer. The whole reason I wanted to use etching primer is because we have like 3/4 of a gallon of it, and it would have been free, but I just had to order some epoxy, about $100 a gallon for that stuff. So it's not cheap stuff. That's why I wanted to use what we had, but it's also going to slow me down here because I'm waiting for that primer right now. Actually, I'm going to do a rust treatment. I'll show you guys on this before I do the primer. But I'm waiting for all that stuff right now. Trunk lid's ready. This rear quarter's ready. Probably going to sand this out here. Probably crawl under here and sand this out a little bit, and then I'll let Dad take care of this. There's nothing really up here, it's just down there, and I think there's a little bit of rust repair down here that he's gonna have to look for the pinholes and fill them, and then I'll have to do the rust treatment on this too, and I'll show you guys that stuff. It's from Eastwood. It's called Metal Etch. I think that's what this is called. I just don't want to spray this. This has been sitting in bare metal a long time, and I don't want to spray and trap rust in there, so I'm going to try this rust treatment. But anyway, I guess that's going to do it for this video, guys. I was hoping to get some primer action on this thing, but it's not going to happen. The primer won't be here for a couple days, so I want to get something out, show you guys some of the progress that's been happening on the car. And I'm going to keep on going here, and we'll see what we can't get done. See you guys in the next one.